In a Roman antiquities museum in Hungary, a masked man arrives as his partner, Vera, distracts the surveillance guard with flirtation. While she keeps the guard busy, the thief slips into the museum's data room to obtain the access code to a hidden chamber. Vera simultaneously disables the cameras and alerts him that the path is clear. Unmasked, the thief enters a gallery filled with Roman statues, but he isn't after them. Instead, he targets a valuable painting, leaving behind a black circle in its place before making a clean escape. By morning, European Interpol agents led by Officer Elena arrive at the scene. They discover the black circle where the artwork once hung. Elena, puzzled, tells her colleague Ozan that it's strange the thief ignored the high-value statues. Ozan agrees and proposes they dig into the stolen piece's background to understand why it was chosen. Elena begins investigating the stolen painting and quickly observes it depicts a romantic scene. She recalls a string of recent thefts involving romantic-themed artworks, all painted by unknown artists. Ruling out famous painters, she narrows the possibilities to two similar pieces, one housed in a New York museum and another en route to Istanbul. With a hint of irony, Elena jokes they're hunting a romantic thief. She briefs her superior, explaining that the Istanbul-bound painting is due to arrive in a few days and will be auctioned. She strongly believes it's the thief's next target, though her superior remains unconvinced. 5 days later, Elena and Ozan wait at the Istanbul Museum. Just as predicted, alarms suddenly ring out. The romantic painting has been stolen. Once again, a black circle is left in its place. Elena, frustrated by their failure to prevent the theft, scans the museum and spots someone calmly exiting with a bag. Pursuing the figure, she corners him at gunpoint only to freeze in shock. It's Johnny, her long-lost lover. Memories rush back, the pain of his mysterious disappearance, the day she thought he was dead, and the rumors of his return. Overwhelmed, she lets him drive away. Now, it's clear Johnny is the elusive thief behind the romantic painting heists. Back at the Istanbul Museum's surveillance room, Elena discovers all cameras had been disabled during the theft, though they worked perfectly beforehand. Reviewing the footage, she spots Johnny standing before the stolen painting and quickly snaps a photo to present to her superior. Despite the evidence, her superior dismisses her claim. Johnny, after all, is a billionaire businessman who could afford to purchase any artwork legally. He urges Elena to drop the case, finding her suspicions implausible. Back in her office, Ozan questions whether she's certain Johnny is the culprit. Elena firmly believes he is. She reveals a bold plan: re-enter Johnny's life, earn his trust, and arrest him when the time is right. Johnny has no idea she's now an Interpol officer based in Istanbul. Elena begins tracking his movements, waiting for the right moment. Eventually, she reappears in his world, catching him completely off guard. Johnny joins her, saying he's been searching for her for years. He tries to explain why he vanished from her life, but Elena remains distant, cold, calculated, and silent. She listens without reacting, sticking to her mission. She lets Johnny get close again. Determined to speak with her, he eventually invites Elena to lunch, hoping to explain everything. She agrees, and over the meal, Johnny confesses he loved her but wasn't ready for marriage. Afraid of losing her, he searched for her in France, only to learn she'd returned to Istanbul. He asks for another chance, vowing not to repeat his mistakes. Elena agrees on one condition: he must be completely honest with her moving forward. Behind the scenes, Elena intends to use this renewed bond to uncover details about the romantic paintings Johnny has stolen. Her investigation confirms he's taken 9 such artworks across the globe. Meanwhile, Ozan shifts focus to Vera, Johnny's hacker and assistant. His research reveals she's been living in Istanbul for 3 years, fleeing theft charges abroad. The final member of Johnny's crew is Omar, his personal driver. Though involved with Johnny's day-to-day movements, Ozan finds no clear proof tying Omar to any crimes. Ozan uncovers that Johnny frequently meets Vera and Omar at a warehouse, which appears to be their base for planning heists. One evening, Elena disguises herself with a mask and sneaks inside. She discovers maps, documents, and blueprints evidence she quickly photographs. Suddenly, Vera arrives, pulls a gun, and attacks. A fierce struggle follows. Elena wounds Vera with a sharp object and escapes in her car. Later, Vera reports the break-in to Johnny and Omar, convinced the masked intruder was a trained officer. Johnny dismisses the idea, doubting a cop would act alone on such a risky mission. Back home, Elena reviews the images she captured. Among the evidence, she finds details pointing to an upcoming heist at an art gallery in the Czech Republic. Not long after, Johnny tells her he's traveling there on business. Elena isn't surprised, she knows what he's planning. She insists on going with him, and though hesitant, Johnny agrees. During the trip, Vera grows wary. She stares at Elena, haunted by a nagging familiarity. Her eyes match those of the masked figure. Still, Omar brushes off Vera's suspicions, calling them irrational. In the Czech Republic, Johnny attends a supposed business meeting while Elena, secretly tailing him with Ozan, keeps a close watch. They lose sight of him inside the gallery until an alarm blares, signaling another romantic painting has vanished. Once again, a black circle marks the theft. They glimpse Johnny fleeing on a motorcycle but can't catch him. Though disappointed, Elena stays committed to the mission. Back in Istanbul, Johnny invites her to a costume party thrown by a wealthy art collector named F.A.L., famous for tight security and priceless artwork. During the event, F.A.L. proudly showcases his underground vault, accessible only through voice and facial recognition. Johnny intends to steal one of the paintings using a 3D printed replica of F.A.L.'s face and voice clips. On the night of the heist, Vera disables the surveillance system. Johnny infiltrates the vault and swaps the target painting with a black circle. Meanwhile, Elena is caught trying to warn F.A.L. Confident in his security, F.A.L. dismisses her concern until an alert exposes the theft. The next morning, F.A.L. visits Elena at home. He thanks her for unintentionally confirming Johnny's identity and vows revenge. Alarmed, Elena rushes to warn Johnny only to be stunned when he admits he knows she's an Interpol agent. He confesses the Istanbul theft was staged to reconnect with her. Despite the deception on both sides, they admit they still have feelings for each other. F.A.L. and his men trace Johnny to a secluded forest hideout, sparking a violent shootout. Just as Johnny is about to be captured, Ozan and the police arrive, turning the tide and arresting F.A.L. To secure his freedom, Johnny hands over evidence exposing F.A.L.'s criminal activities. Ozan tells Elena that whether to arrest Johnny is her choice. Overcome by love, Elena lets him go. She chooses a future alongside the man she loves, a romantic thief, ending their story in bold defiance.